All right, we said Augie doesn't learn differently. Augie looks different, which does not require him to be a special education student. Mr. Tushman responds to her at the top of page 163. You see at the top when Mr. Tushman says, "As for your other concerns regarding our student August, please note he does not have special needs. He is neither disabled, handicapped, nor developmentally delayed in any way." That is all so true. Julian's mom has made this all up. And she even at the party talks about that with other people, saying that Jack can't handle it, that the school shouldn't handle it. And doesn't this tell us so much about Julian's mom? It really does not surprise us that Julian acts the way he does in that way. Another spot I want to discuss is not in the book in this section, but it's the precept for the month. And they're in the month of January in the story. And so their precept is no man is an island entire of itself. So no person is alone. Talk with your partner. How does that relate to what is happening in the story about no one being an island? All right, the next thing, now that you've discussed the island, the next thing to discuss is the next part. So everyone turn to where parts 5 begins. Trying to find it myself. So we're on page 187. And if you remember, we just met Justin in the end of part 4. And so we know he plays the fiddle. So I have a picture of a fiddle player here so you can see what it looks like. And then that case right there is the case that you would keep a fiddle in. It's one of the styles of cases. And it's pretty important that we note that Jack and Augie thought that he was carrying a machine gun case instead of a fiddle case. So here's a picture of what a machine gun case would look like. So you can see how machine gun cases do look kind of similar to a fiddle case. Now, when you look in Justin's part, starting on page 187, do you notice something about the way it's written? Do you see how it has all lowercase letters? And there's no quotation marks anywhere when there's dialogue. In some ways, I think it makes it harder to read because of this. So you are going to have to think carefully about what you're reading. While you're reading, I want you to be thinking, why did the author, why did R.J. Palacio choose to write this with all lowercase letters and lack of punctuation? And then the other thing I want you to be thinking about while you're reading is, how is Justin like Grands? Because they're pretty similar in some ways. So I want you to think about that. You could even write about that in your response. So your homework tonight is that you need to read this part. It's only 18 pages long, and you need to write your response to Justin's part as well. Right now, you're going to have 10 minutes of class time to start reading. So find a spot in the room. If you're 6 feet apart, you can take off your mask and read from part 5. Have a good rest of your day, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.